Greetings, my friends. I am Gilles Mancillon. I come to wish you a good day. The 7-7 portal, it's a portal of completion. It is a very important time that we live in. We're very anxious. Personally, I'm very eager to come out of waiting, to move into action, to move into the realization of physicality. For it's like so because it's like everything that we go, all the obstacles, all the difficulty, all the challenges that we have in our life we are the ones that have created it, and there is solutions to everything, even if we don't see it right away. All the delays also in terms of manifestation of the life that we choose is also because we need to it give us time to. It means there is still requirement for inner alignment, inner adjustment, purification, perfectioning. So it's like we have to be stoic and accept amor fati, accept every moment as what it is. But we're always informed ahead of time when we tune into the guidance, the inner guidance. For me, my inner guidance is talking to me about this amazing, beautiful, free life. And yet I feel like sometimes I'm like really tired of waiting, and it's really difficult. But maybe it won't be that long. We don't know. I feel like if I we don't know really, so we want to remove the fear of success, the fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, all kinds of fear. We want to be free and to be ready when the door opens to move forward. So we have to understand to receive more and more from our higher self, and to trust that. For our soul is the more we are. We are, if we are an old soul, we've done so much, and our soul right now is recuperating all kinds of energies to balance it all out. For old souls, our one desire is to return to the source, to the creator, because we know that the home of God is infinitely rich, and there's treasures there that nothing else will compare. So it is a call. At some point, we feel the necessity to return to the inner kingdom, to the home of love and the house of light, to become the enlightened beings. And the Buddha is very powerful, the Lord of the world. It's coming to teach us this alignment with the alignment with wisdom, basically the enlightenment above the realm of change. There is this permanence, but all the great teachers, all the ascended masters have some very specific qualities that we need to gather. I'm going to discuss a little bit of that. For there is no limit within infinity. That's something that can be. God is the only true infinite, for his infinity is infinity of reality. He experiences all things at all times. So no matter what we experience, there is always the opposite. There is something better and something worse that is being experienced on the whole. And God is working for the whole. And so there is the infinitely big. We can imagine that the universe will eventually expand towards infinity. For it is very big, and it's a lot older than we think, yet it is still very young in relationship to what we know as far as what's been revealed as the plans of the architects of the master universe will unfold a universe that's far greater and bigger in the eternal future. For now, we're mastering the time and space parameters, the first level of reality outside of paradise. But when we seek infinity, we can also seek it within the infinity of the small. For I was taken beyond the realm of matter into the. Once I remember, I will never forget that experience, to be taken into the harmonic field below the level of matter, and the 10 seconds I spent there was like a week of vacation. It was so beautiful. It was so nurturing. It was so amazing. And maybe one day I'll learn to return to those realms. But it was revealed that the realm of matter is actually has limits. In the realm of matter, the smallest particle that hasn't been discovered by contemporary science, they're called ultimatons. For we know about atoms. We don't know that much about atoms. We believe that there is many protons at the center of the atom, so that means we do not know, because a proton is 2,000 times more dense than the electrons that dance around it. Is the masculine part, that there is a feminine part, the electrons. There is 3 circuits of electrons around each atom. I've seen them. They showed me, Spirit showed me that. There is only one proton at the center of each atom, and there is like electron that turn around the center of the proton in the atoms, which are unit of matter, and each electron is actually made up of 100 ultimatons. Those ultimatons are really small particles, and there are three ultimatons that in the air that are not subject to linear gravity, that are subject to absolute gravity. They respond to paradise gravity, but most of the ultimatons have been commissioned to become the to put together to become the electrons that for all that we see in material form is electronic matter. Once we control the electronic matter, the matter will become fluid and we'll be able to control it. So it is so there is always realm that we can always unfold that goes within and within and within. Everything is a space within a space within a space. There is no end to reality. And those realms are so really so beautiful when we move into this harmonic field on below the energy of matter, into the realm of energy. So also the Spirit says to reveal to me that God is waiting till the last moment for everything. So it's like, why? Because He can afford it. For us, we don't. It's like, why wait so long? Why wait till the last moment? Sometimes we must have questions. But I wanted to discuss the memories of Atlantis. Atlantis was a continent that was created. There was 10 kingdoms. There was 200,000 years of golden age, very advanced physical material civilization in the fourth dimension, and it was an effort to harmonize all of the refugees from the galactic wars, all the different families around one reality, and then eventually the continents fall into the ocean because of demonic practices by some people. So it was like the deluge. What's called the deluge was the fall of Atlantis, and it was about 17,000 years ago. And eventually there was 5 islands that came back up, and societies. There were some survivors. And the last 5,000 years of Atlantis, there were 2 main ideology. One was patriarchal, militarist, and corporatist, ruled by the Aryans and the sons of Belials. And then there was a matriarchal society which was very spiritual, that was called Poseida, the Emerald City, that was organized around a group of beings. They were most of the society was fourth dimension, but the Atlara, this soul family, this soul group, were 13 was connected on the 13-dimensional level, the stillness of the still point, and yet connected to all the dimensions of the sub-universe. So that was we were allowed. This knowledge would give us access to be able to travel through time and space on the horizontal axis, as well as through the multi-dimensional planes of the sub-universe through the vertical axis. And so Atla was a planetary consciousness, and Ra was the solar god. For it was Poseidon that was the first Atlantis was under the supervision of a master named Orlet, that we send greetings to him, and after that Poseidon was the supervisor spirit for the civilization after the fall of Atlantis, and then it completely fall into the ocean 12,000 years ago, because of the Aryans. The Aryans took control of the second moon of Atlantis, that was an Arcturian crystal, to divert it into a weapon to fight against the war that they were involved in. But the crystal wasn't made for that, and that created the final fall of Atlantis. So Ra is a great friend of mine. It's a great teacher. It's an amazing being, a being that came out of the primal domain of paradise, just as a self-incarnated divinity and the model of royalty. So he's a great teacher. He's a model. He's not somebody to venerate. It's not. It's more a model. We need to resemble most of the higher divinities. We are friends and teachers. They're here to. We want to learn from them. We want to from their wisdom, from their love, from their consciousness, and so some of their abilities. We want to resemble them as much as possible. Most higher beings are here to teach us to incarnate our own divinity. We want to reserve worship for the prime creator. worship is different than prayer. For when we pray, we ask something of God. When we worship, we just we honor God for just for who He is. So, and eventually we're going to learn that when we get to paradise, we'll reach the Isle of Light. There will be an angel called a perfecter of wisdom, perfecter of worship, that will teach us to have an exchange with God that is where we feel eternal satisfaction in this communication of love energy between us and the source, which means that essentially it means that in our sacred heart, eventually there is a door. We have a sacred heart, the thymus, called the thymus, in the physical plane. Eventually we'll break the door. The door will completely be open, and this love of God will always flow, because God cannot ask anyone for eternal service until we achieve enough level of worship, so that we can be fulfilled always in this love. For God loves us infinitely already. He recognizes all of who we are already. But it is for us to recognize God and to love God as much as He loves us. So it's like it's a process, and so we do have to accept our mortal and limitations and fears and all that to as part of the process to deactivate that. But eventually we're going to be integrating we're going to open our higher heart, so the love of God will flow eternally, and because there is always it's about attunement and developing the ability to feel this energy from the source, to warmth. It's very a lot of warmth, a lot of light, and it's a progressive evolution, because this love and this light of the Creator is so powerful and so magnificent. We need to adjust our physical vehicle to learn progressively to integrate and acclimate ourselves to ever increasing frequency. So, but it comes from free will. The desire to return to the source, to submit ourselves to God, is not something that is forced. It's something that comes naturally as part of our programmation at some point to return to the home of love of the Prime Creator, the center of infinity. And but we are forced to learn patience. It's really waiting really stinks. It's really I really don't like. I'm really tired of waiting. Sometimes I understand I need to work on certain things internally, and it kind of forces me to return to the ethers, to find amazement in the ethers, even if I feel like there's so much that I'd like to do in the physical realm. When the door opens, I'll be ready. But it's like my priority right now is coming out of waiting. But to be okay with whatever, to be flexible, because navigating all those storms of energy, God needs us to be here in physical presence. Sometimes I feel my consciousness has reached high level of consciousness, and I could let go of all my attachment to the physical realm and go back home into the ethers. But God needs me, because first He tells me there is so much wonderful thing that I need to experience, that I will be experiencing before the end of my incarnation as well. Although sometimes I feel like it's so long in coming, it's like, well, but it also needs us to be in this physical presence to assist in the shift. So it's kind of heroic to navigate all those storms and to have chosen to incarnate in this time of transition. Sometimes I feel when I feel like it's like longing to experience certain things that my higher self is revealing to me. That is sometimes I feel in my next incarnation I will be more practical and less spiritual. I will be more pleasure oriented than service oriented. It's like, but maybe I won't even choose to come back into physicality. Maybe it will be enough. So, but I do recognize my failure in lacking patience sometimes. For my vision to manifest in physicality. For everything else, it comes down naturally. But it's part of. We have to accept who we are, to accept us with all our quirks. It's very important to honor who we are, to be authentic, not to try to be. Of course, we don't want to present our weakness to the world, because people will utilize that and judge us upon that. So, but we do, but we do have strengths and weaknesses, and the more authentic we'll become, the easier it will be to overcome our weakness and to turn that into strength. For the great ascended master, whether you call on the Christ, you call on the Buddha, you call on Saint Germain, you call on all the gods of the universe, they will assist you, and they will teach you, and little by little they will be able to to upgrade you in relationship to why you are able to, because they're all about sharing, and so the more you can, you are willing to receive, the willing to open your consciousness to whatever level. The even if it's not doesn't happen right away, it's registered in your soul reality, and then things will take the time that it will take, but your soul already knows where it wants to go, and but it's very opportunist as well. The soul, if the soul sees that it can grow more, it can achieve something more than it was planned originally, it will use this opportunity. Spirit is talking to me about champagne, so I'm really eager to be able to make a video where I'll have a cup of champagne to say, yes, it's like I've crossed the portal, I'm celebrating now, and moving to the next level. Well, thank you very much for your support, for your likes, your sharing, your comments. Thank you so very much for your donations. The card of the day is a new life. It's really a new life, so awakening, and we are really awakening. The planet is awakening also. She was sleeping up until 2012. Now she's getting ready for ascension all the way to the 12th dimension. But there is the surface humanity that we need to assist in their awakening. Yet everything is serving the plan, serving the process. And the higher wisdom is the timeless eternity, is TikTok, there is the urgency of time, but there is the timeless point of now, the eternal now. What we need to understand is trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the plans for you, trust in the universe, trust in others. What we need to do is young, the power of the will, the power of action. And we're going to coming out of waiting, so it is a good sign. I'm really eager to come out of waiting and to be able to act. And the outcome is going in circles. So it's like this merry-go-round, and it's like we need to learn all the lessons we need to learn. It's like once we learn a lesson on one level, we'll ascend, we'll transcend. It's like, and then we're going to be able to go far, to traverse the desert, to start a new cycle, a new marathon. But be patient. It's very important to be in the now, to be in the present, and to cultivate the sense of receptivity, as well as to be ready to be active and creative, and in the face of what is coming, to keep an optimistic vision and positive vision in relationship to what we project into the quantum field right now. I thank you very much. Wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.